Say cheese. Aw, you look great, sweetie. The perfect picture. A perfect moment in time. Whatever this thing is. Cameras and more. Welcome to wrong one. Welcome to Cartoon Artwork. I'm Arty, and in this video, we'll be answering this question. What is photography? I feel like I need a title card here, I don't know. Don't have the budget. What am I paying you for? What? Okay, well anyway, bring in the definition. Photography is the art or practice of taking and processing photographs. What makes photographs an art? Because now everyone can just point a camera or a shoebox and then take a photograph. But what makes it an art form? Well, photography itself is the process of capturing light to create an image, which sounds absolutely magical. The word photography comes from the Greek word photos, meaning light, and graphos, meaning drawing. Okay, you with me so far? Good. But it's far from what it used to be. Back in the day, just the act of being able to imprint a moment in time onto metal plates was revolutionary. This process was called Niepce.
Joseph Nicéphore Niepce.
Yeah. Heliography.
Niepce.
Being the inventor, and heliography meaning sun writing, because Helios is the Greek god of the sun. Okay, so again, why is it considered an art form? Well, it's because we can do something to photographs today that we couldn't really do back then. Photo manipulation. Now, this isn't the only technique that can separate photography from art, but it sure can add an overall control to the aesthetics of the photograph. Some may argue that art implies control of reality, and that editing and manipulation can grant the photograph a clearer artistic statement. Remember, photographs can be an art form, but not all photographs are created to be artworks, or as forms of artistic expression. But what if you took a photo of an already existing artwork? Is the art now just a photograph? Or is it a photograph of the art? Or is the photograph now art? I don't know, comment down below, what do you think? Either way, you've just created what is essentially now called a print. It's the reason why museums and galleries don't let you take photos of artwork. It can become a copyright issue. What makes a good photograph? Well, just like in art, there are certain key elements that play an important role in photography. Color, line, patterns, shapes, and composition are essential, but the one element that can make or break a photograph, and all professional photographers can agree on this, is lighting. Lighting not only determines the brightness and darkness of a photograph, but also the tone, mood, and overall atmosphere within it. Remember, you're creating an image with light, so it makes sense to understand the language of light. What do I mean? Well, there's different types of lighting. Natural light from the sun, and artificial light from things like indoor light bulbs, strobes, and modifiers, if you want to be fancy. Learning how and when to use each type of light and where to place them can help you create the message you want to communicate with the audience. Do you want it to look scary? Or do you want it to look friendly? Can anyone become a photographer? Well, in essence, yeah, they can. But is there a difference between just taking a photo on your phone and taking one on a DSLR? Well, if you're using the DSLR on auto instead of manual and you aren't editing it afterward, then no, there is no difference.
How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!
Don't be mad. Fight me. In the comments. Let's go.
For years, professionals have devoted their entire lives to the triangle. The triangle. This thing.
The exposure triangle, which is the #1 guide every photographer should know about. It shows you exactly what changes to make to each setting in order for you to capture the perfect image. For example, aperture affects depth of field, basically what's blurry and what's in focus. Shutter speed affects motion blur, basically if something is moving, is it clear or is it blurry? And ISO speed affects image noise, basically the little tiny dot things that appear when something is exposed too much, or there's just not enough light in the dark. Is there a dark side to photography? Can photographs be used for evil? Unfortunately, yes. As mentioned before, photo manipulation is something we didn't always do, but with the rise of softwares comes the ability to completely warp an image and present it as real. The early 2000s really paid the price for that, as it quickly became normalized to correct certain body imperfections. And now with the rise of AI, anything can be faked. The intentions behind a photograph are now more than ever easily attainable by anyone, and that can be very scary for everyday people and, of course, celebrities. Back on a good note, please excuse my emo editor. What would you, the audience, describe as the perfect photograph? Not a good one, but a perfect one. Is it the perfect use of the exposure triangle? The perfect use of the key elements? Of the lighting? Or is it having the perfect subject? Loved ones. A selfie that reminds you of how beautiful you are. A perfect moment in time.
Beautiful things don't ask for attention.
Try not to get too caught up with all the technical aspects of photography the next time you have your camera out. Sometimes, the perfect photograph is the one that reminds you that you've lived. Thanks again for listening. Don't forget to like and share, comment down below, and of course subscribe. As always, good luck with your art.